Awesome. So good morning, everyone. It's Thursday. We have 4 more days left in the month. So really exciting time of the month where we're just running for our goals. We are, doing everything we can to help our team members reach their goals. And that's going to build that momentum here at the end of the month. So one of the exercises we did yesterday was to send text messages out to at least 10 people in our phone that we hadn't talked to in at least 3 months or so. So this exercise was just to reach out, say hi, start a conversation, and hopefully that created some, ongoing conversations with you all, and maybe even opened up an opportunity for you to share a little bit of what we have here to share with people. So I'd love to hear from anybody that did that exercise, kind of how that went for you, and if you were able to make an appointment from any of those text messages yesterday, if that created any kind of removed some blocks that maybe you had prior to doing that exercise. Maybe you're like, I don't know who I'm going to reach out to today, or I can't think of any new people for my list. Maybe this added a few people onto your network notebook. I'd love to hear from you. And just hear how the exercise went or implemented into your business. And I also have on the line, if we're not ready to share that yet, that could be something you can also reflect on. Maybe you want to share something about that later on in the call. I also have 2 amazing leaders with me that are here on Zoom with us, Leah and Rachel, and I think they're currently in the car, but on their way to a park where maybe they'll have the perfect reception and an easier way to kind of hop on here. But they're also here to help share some guidance and tips. This is our Thursdays, kind of more of our Q&A call, where if you have anything that's kind of been happening for you, if you have some questions about the tools, or maybe things, maybe you're hitting a block or a conversation somewhere where you're just not sure how to answer somebody, this is kind of our open forum call every Thursday where you can come and ask questions. It's not, not a fully guided call where we have a certain focus other than to help you reach your goals and to answer any questions that might be coming up about your business, about our tools, about strategy, about how you can reach your goals. So we're just here to help you kind of move through any of those blocks, any of those challenges, and get those questions answered.
Hi, Naeva.
Hi.
I've heard you mention a few times that you do healthy happy hour. And I was wondering if you would explain a little bit how you do that.
Sure. Thanks for that question. That's a really great question, Anita. When I first launched my business, I was suggested to do a series of 4 healthy happy hours. And this can either be in your home, at a friend's home, or at a public location. And basically what it consists of is gathering a group of people together. So you're going to, create your event, invite people to attend, and it's just really getting people together so you can sample product and share your story with them. So it's a really great way to leverage your time if you want to share your story in front of more than just one person. So it's kind of, gathering 5 or 10 people together in your living room, maybe often I would just offer a couple healthy snacks, so things that would maybe be considered flex foods. So I would maybe cut up an apple or 2 and sprinkle some cinnamon or sea salt on it. I would cut up maybe a cucumber and put salt or cayenne on it, or both, just to show people that it can be tasty and that these are some of the options that you can eat during the cleanse. I might also have like a veggie platter out, or a fruit platter, if that's something that is, I live in Hawaii, so we have lots of fruits here. So fruit platter is often something on the table. But just showing people healthy alternatives and then sampling some product to them. So the food option is more optional as far as what you want to offer them. The main thing you want sure to have is a couple different products for them to sample. So often I'll just do the can't beat this and maybe the appleberry power shake. And sometimes I'll also do, if I'm at home, I'll do a love smoothie with like one banana and a little bit of almond milk to just show them that, you know, you don't just have to mix it with water. You can have fun with it and mix it a little bit different. I also prefer the love with a banana blended in it and mixed with almond milk. So I try to make my samples how I would like it.
My next question is, have you ever done that like in a public venue?
Oh, I'm muted. Can you hear me now? Okay. The phone kicked me off for a minute, so I apologize. So it's keep it simple. Don't get too complicated because then it gets like hard to do and unmotivating. So keep it super simple. You're going to sample a couple products out to your customers. I usually will just make one shake, and that one shake will get sampled to everybody at the party. So don't think that this is going to cost you a lot in samples, because one shake costs us maybe a couple dollars. You might make 2 or 3 shakes, different varieties, and sample to everybody there. So I'll usually just give people a small, like a bottom of a glass or like a shot glass size. You can also get the little tiny paper cups that are like for little kids. They're just like tiny little sample cups. Those work really well if you're using paper cups. And so those are, you know, other than that, it's sharing your story and sharing a video. Often I've started with sharing my own story with the product, and then sharing the farm to family video is a really great one to share. You might choose, depending on your demographic of people, you can look at the different videos and maybe find what you think would most attract them or be most suited for maybe, you know, their needs. And then after that, if you have other team members or people in the area that have stories of their customers that attend, you can ask your customers to maybe share their story with the experience. You can also leverage your time by getting your customers or team members to all happy. That way you have more guests at your event while you're presenting. So kind of the best way to leverage a healthy happy hour is to get as many people as in the room as possible for your presentation. And then from there, it's just sampling product and I'm not sure why it keeps kicking me off, but I'm sure other people have had healthy happy hours as well and can also share their experience or maybe their tips and tricks of what has worked for them.
Aloha, good morning. Just got to our destination. So for Healthy Happy Hour, I know you asked a question also about doing it in a public venue. And yes, it's actually a really cool idea. We have friends who own yoga studios or gyms or juice bars or different things like that. Or if you have, we have a friend who has an art studio. So we're going to be doing Healthy Happy Hours in his art studio. We've done many different things, just working with people who align with the vision and the mission and love superfoods. It makes it super easy and simple. And we love working with, tapping into the team that you already have or that you're, the brand partners that you're looking to build with, and seeing what kind of resources they have and the kinds of people they know and places that you could do it in. We also really love going to beautiful places and being around environments and in environments that are really like elegant and just contemporary and beautiful, and just having that high vibration of beauty and cleanliness. So also making sure that the space feels really, really good and that you're in a beautiful space makes a big difference for me as well. And I also just wanted to put it out there that This is our time to really leverage our time and get our questions answered, whatever we've been struggling with or feeling like we really need some support with in our team or our personal business or anything that might be coming up for you. This day where we do a Q&A is a really great opportunity to be able to get some support. And maybe you're working on, maybe you have a really big vision of what you want to do, or maybe you just have a goal that you want to reach in the next 4 days, or maybe you have you're wanting to do an email, like a big email blast out, or just an event coming up or something. Just feel free to ask for help and ask your questions here in this space, because there are people on here that I'm sure have the same question as you or are needing guidance or support in a similar way that could really benefit from hearing the answer to that question. And it could also help spark another question that will, again,
I can't hear you anymore, Rachel. I don't know if the service cut out. Is it just me, or can we not hear Rachel?
I can't hear Rachel either.
I can't either.
okay, maybe I'm on mute. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay, I think it got muted somehow, or maybe, I don't know what happened. Yeah, go ahead. Basically was just saying that I wanted to have whoever, if there's any more questions about Healthy Happy Hour or any more answers that we can give for that, we can stay on that. And then I do want to share a couple things for you all today as well around the power of listening and asking questions. So if anyone else has specific questions right now or want to go back to the Healthy Happy Hour question, and then I'll cover a little bit about that.
Hey guys, morning, it's Gina. Thank you for this call, and I just wanted to pop in. I have just started plugging in, coming back from Unconvention, and we came to the Central Coast to actually do a bunch of healthy happy hours after Unconvention. And so I'd love to just share a little bit about what we found, and the response has been really great on the Central Coast, which is cool. I don't know if you guys know where that is, San Luis Obispo County. And we've connected with some other people's teams here, and we had one at a business, and then we had one where we did two in one day, and that was really cool. I really would suggest at your Healthy Happy Hour sharing the story and keeping it simple to like just the core 4, but maybe having a catalog there and not overwhelming the people with too many products. And also local businesses were really nice to have it in. Like Rachel said, we had ours at a little collective of artists where there was art on the wall in a really beautiful space, and it kind of brought people in from the streets as well. But promoting your next healthy happy hour at the other one and having a couple lined up. I'm actually going to stay 5 extra days and do some more healthy happy hours here on the Central Coast. I know there's some team coming up from LA, Jeremy, who's on a team up here with Jody Agate, which I know her from a long time ago, so it's all coming full circle. And any of you guys that have people on the Central Coast, I'll share on 18 when we have those locations. There's an event in Paso that's going to be really great. Paso Robles for 3 hours with mindset training. We're going to do a healthy happy hour tomorrow night at Jody's house in Morro Bay, California. So just kind of wanted to come on and share that with you and say, keep the healthy happy hours simple, fun, and it was hard to keep it to an hour one of the times. Sometimes they get deep depending on who's there and what's the environment, you know. And getting people to ask questions, I think, is really important. Talking about the biomedic right now with the glyphosate, asking people, do you know what your microbiome is? Having something that they can take home with them. We did a little fact sheet where we gave them a pen and a piece of paper. They could kind of take notes. It had our information on it for them to take home, and have a sign in place where you get everybody's information as well. So then you can follow up with everybody. So nice to see you all, and hope that everyone's at Unconvention next year. Whoop, whoop.
Yay, thank you. Great tips, Gina. I love that. Definitely keeping it simple, and sharing your stories, and not overwhelming with too much product, because I've done that in the past too, of just sharing about too many of the products. So just keeping it simple, with your story. And the other part that I wanted to touch on that you mentioned was asking questions, and also getting your audience to participate, I've found is a really fun way to kind of get them to interact with you. So ask questions, like she said, like, how much do you spend a week on food? How many of you drink a smoothie every day? How many of you drink coffee? Just asking really kind of basic questions for people to say yes or no to, I think can also be a really great way to just get people to interact, so that they don't get bored with just listening and like watching. But if you get them to actually interact with, like, who currently buys a smoothie? Do you spend more than $5? Do you spend more than $7? Do you spend more than $10 on your smoothie? How often do you do that? And then being like, did you know that you could get, we have a juice bar in the bag. You can get the whole thing for like $160 right now with the discount. So, just like asking questions and then giving them a solution, I think is really fun. And you can always touch back on that later and be like, we can talk about that option later, but I just want to let you know we have an option that offers you like juice bar in a bag. But just asking questions in general is a great way. And I know Rachel is going to share more about listening and actively listening and asking questions at some point in the call too. So that's always a great thing to fall back on, is asking questions.
Hi, I have a question about kind of reversing all the way to the beginning, but how have you found the best way to actually invite people to a healthy happy hour? Like, what is it that you might say in an invitation that would generate the most curiosity? Kind of interested in that. How do you get the most people to actually show up?
That's a really great question. Getting people to show up, depending on who they are and how you invite them and what their lifestyle is like, is gonna, depend on how interested they are. So I think having an initial conversation, I think sharing your own experience can be helpful to get them to lean in and want maybe something that you have. A couple things that I've done in the past is you can offer a free product. So you could say, for instance, everybody that comes to your healthy happy hour gets a $50 gift card. That is something that we can always offer. You can always offer all of your guests and their friends that they bring will receive $50 off for any superfoods that they decide to purchase. Another thing you can do is I've done some public events where maybe I'll do like a raffle, and that's a really great way to get people to show up. Maybe they're going to win a bottle of aminos. Maybe they're going to win a 15 serving of Power Shake. Maybe it's a Biomedic. Can you guys hear me? Somebody said they can't hear me.
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
But with
So offering
when
a
I'm
free
like
product.
distracted, I like can't. I just need to like say hi and go. Oh, now I can't. I could.
Oh, I can hear Rachel, I think, on the line. So I think offering a raffle can be a fun idea. Raffling off something, and then it gets people to write down their phone number, email, and name and put it in the box. So that could be like a good public event way to collect people's information. And a way to get people to come, like tell them, but by coming to my event, you'll get a $50 gift card for your first order, and you'll get entered into the raffle for this free Biomedic or whatever it is that you might be wanting to give away. So that's one of the things that I found helps. If you're doing a healthy happy hour at home, something that I have done in the past, which has helped when I've had low turnouts and I wanted to get more people to show up is asking friends for help. So your friends that you call and that say they're going to show up, if you know, and then you remind them that day and they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to come, say, okay, that's awesome. Hey, would you drop by the store and grab me a bag of ice? And then your next friend, you say, hey, would you drop by the store and grab me a few apples to cut up as samples for my healthy happy hour? And then your next friend, you say, will you grab me 2 cucumbers so I can cut them up for my healthy happy hour? And you get each friend to bring one thing that you need. And then they're guaranteed to show up because now they feel responsible because they told you they would bring something for your event. So asking friends for help can sometimes be a fun and different way of getting them to actually show up if they've maybe not showed up in the past when you invited them, but they are really interested in the information, getting them to maybe contribute to the event in some kind of way can help them to kind of feel like they're obligated to show up in a way. So as far as inviting goes, the best way to invite is to personally reach out, give people a phone call, have a conversation, and really just genuinely invite them to your healthy happy hour, I think is the very best way. I've found that if you send an email or create a kind of copy and paste message, it doesn't always have the best turnout because you haven't created like that personal conversation, relationship, and invitation with that person. So they don't necessarily feel like that same connection as if you have a conversation with them. And then, if you feel like you need to ask them to bring you a few apples to your healthy happy hour to make sure they show up, then that's, kind of a plan B to kind of lock them in and make them feel like they're responsible for helping your event have a great turnout or have the things that you need. So hopefully those are some helpful tips. I'm sure we have many more tips from everybody else on the line as well. I just remind everybody, this is an open forum Thursday Q&A call. So if you have your own suggestions you'd like to throw in, or if you have questions you want to ask, just go ahead and come off mute. I'd love to hear.
Hi again. Can you guys hear me okay? Yes, maybe.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So for getting people, get Leah in here. So for getting people to show up, I feel like it's a lot about posturing, and that's with everything in our business. It's how you hold yourself, how you feel, how you approach the person, and how you're speaking to them. And so really building it up with excitement and passion, and sharing it from a place of joy and excitement, and really whatever way you feel like for that person it's going to connect. Maybe they've been, some aspect of what you're doing, is likely going to resonate with them. Bringing that into either yellow, and you say, oh, it's gonna be really fun, we're gonna have some music and it's gonna be great. Or maybe they're a red and you're gonna be like, it's gonna be great business, we're gonna do business training at the end. And Roxanne and I we're actually just talking last night about shifting our happy hours into being like really fun and entertaining, and keeping it to 1 hour. And then afterwards, for anyone who decides to sign up, we're gonna go straight into business training. So we would sign people up right then and there, and then we would go into the beginning of their business, doing the business plan, setting goals, making sure that they're connected to the training program, the training videos that we have, and everything like that. So that's also a big potential that we have to be able to leverage our time. And if you already have this space and you're already going to throw an event, you might as well be, and of course the goal is to actually enroll people. So if you're going to be doing that, you might as well be helping support them in getting started with their business. We are really big on fun and just making things as fun as possible. And so that always draws people in. And so finding different ways to make it fun, whether it's just the kinds of people that are there and that you're inviting, or again, like playing music and, dancing around, having like an open thing at the beginning when people are first arriving, where people are just kind of like dancing and moving, or maybe it's just in a really fun space, an art gallery type space, or have different like talent shares where you have a friend like singing or dancing, doing a little performance or just something. Like find different ways of being creative and find ways of matching this event with something else that you can be offering people so that they walk away from that experience not only feeling like they gained knowledge and information that they didn't have before, but they gained connections as well as had a really good time, and they got to get elevated by these superfoods and this nourishment that they're putting in their body, and they have a huge opportunity. So we want to be building value and giving people value, and when you give value, then people are going to walk away feeling really good and like they didn't just waste their time, but they actually feel really filled up by the time that they just spent, and that they feel it was time well spent. That's what we want people to be walking away with, and walking away with inspiration and excitement and joy as well.
I really love that, Rachel. I love the doing healthy happy hours and then going right into a business training right afterwards. That's a really great idea and way to help people get launched right away. So that's a really great next step to take people through as they launch their business or get a launch pack with us. Super fun. And I love watching you ladies going for a walk together. It's so fun. So for anybody else that has questions or has done healthy happy hours and would like to share your tips or advice or what has worked for you, and also just a little reminder, if any of you did the exercise with us yesterday, to share how that went for you, hear about that.
Hi guys, this is Aya, or ladies and gentlemen, this is Aya calling in. Can you hear me all right? I'm driving, so.
Yeah. Hear you.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. So the question too about inviting people to the Healthy Happy Hour, what I did is I created a Facebook event, and then I also, as part of that, created like a little flyer for people that was like fun, and I can post that on A-Team if that would be helpful. But it was just, I worked on that with Gina, and we put a few questions like, are you struggling with these things? And then, like, get your green on and let's have fun, and made it really fun. And then I sent that flyer to people with a personal message, and I think we had about 18 people there, so it did seem to generate some good interest. And just also on that Facebook event, like, keep updating it and making posts in the event so people are reminded of the event coming up, and whether that was like, 5 minutes before, like if you're in Cayucas, which is where the event was at, like come down to Healthy Happy Hour, or like a week before, just, any kind of excitement or any kind of reason to just post on that event so it brings it up in people's feed and they see it and are reminded of it, and pairing that with a personal message too. It seemed to get a lot of people there. So that was my share. Thanks for this call. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Aya. If you'd post your flyer in A-Team, I think a few people would be interested in looking at that to get some ideas.
Yes, I'll do that for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, I love what you just shared. That's a really great way to go. I love creating Facebook events and inviting people there. And I would definitely suggest doing that if you're using Facebook as one of your ways to invite people, and, and then following up with people with the personal message. Like you said, you have that flyer that maybe you sent to people personally with a little message, or maybe you called a bunch of them. So I definitely would do, kind of the high tech with the event on Facebook, and then also the personal touch with like a personal message or a personal phone call, just to help people to see the value in it, and to help them, help build up that value towards the event and feel like that personal invitation. But I really love what you said with the flyer, and the Facebook event can really be helpful in creating that momentum, creating that curiosity, and information about the event leading up to it too, as well as the, put in there to help people interact and help people see more value in what it is that you're going to be sharing. So definitely.
Yeah, I think I ended up like inviting randomly like 130 people or something through that event. And what I noticed too is that it created curiosity for people. And so then even if they didn't make it to the healthy happy hour directly, like then I run into them and they're like, oh, so how did your event go? So it creates a conversation as well. So people that can't be there are still like wondering, well, what is this healthy happy hour? What is she doing? So it did create curiosity as well, which I think is great.
Awesome. I love that, Aya. Thank you so much for sharing. That's great. Would anybody else like to comment or share next?
Hey, I'll just say I appreciate the suggestions. I think I'll try more healthy happy hours that are more like in other places besides my house. Haven't had great luck with it. So I think it just reminded me, kind of gave me some fresh energy around it because I had kind of gotten flat about those. I haven't been good at getting good attendance with them. So, but I think it's a great idea that we're sharing about like having them at other places where other people already are and having it be like more fun and just exploring other venues is some nice creativity there. So thanks.
Anybody else like to comment?
Hey, I just wanted to share something real quick because we were going over it last night. This is Leah. I'm with Rachel. Months and months ago, I took apart just a product catalog, and I took it to Kinko's, or not Kinko's, but FedEx, and had them laminate each one. And I put on the front side of one product and on the back side of the product that kind of corresponded with it, like athletes' products together, and apothecary information back and front. And I use those at healthy happy hours to put in someone's hand. They don't have to flip through a book and like feel like they're reading a book, but they can look at like a really concentrated piece of information about the particular product that I'm looking at. They're also, or talking about, excuse me. So they're also trying the same product. So they're having like a three-pronged experience while at the healthy happy hour, and it's fairly inexpensive. And you do have to sacrifice a catalog, which is a super useful business building tool, but it is really worth it, I would just say. And I also did that at a CBD demo. I just printed out the PDF files on the CBD information and had that available for people to look at and read while we were sampling the CBD. And so that was really helpful because I didn't have to present the information. I printed out some like 10 frequently asked questions about CBD, or like CBD for athletes, so that it wasn't coming from me. It's not coming from Purium. It's just information about the possible helpful effects of using CBD. So, so those are just a little bit of tips that I've used that are helpful to have kind of in your healthy happy hour kit, so to speak. So hope that's helpful, and excited to hear if anyone else has any more questions.
I want to say really quick, those laminates they're so great in so many ways. One, that they don't get ruined, and if someone spills or something, like you just wipe them off really easy. And they also will last forever, so that investment that you make on them is the gift that keeps on giving, because it's an unlimited amount of people you can help with that. And they also just look really, really professional, and it looks like, it's like this is your business. You're taking charge of your business, and it looks as if we were to be working for another company and they hire you, and then they like give you this binder and this package with all and show up in a way that is really professional, and where people feel really comfortable with the way that we're doing business. And I feel like that's fun, lighthearted, joyful, professional, and knowledgeable. And I think that that's a really, really key part of it, is just that showing up in a professional manner. So good stuff. Check it out. Try it for yourself.
Yay, awesome. That was really helpful. And I have some made too. I did the thing with a catalog and a Core 3 magazine. So this was from the Core 3 magazine. I laminated, here's a couple of the pages. What I love about this is when I'm doing a healthy happy hour, if I want to do the part that Dave and Amy do often about like 100 years ago, all food was organic, kind of a spiel, that is all written in this front page of one of the Core 3 magazines that I laminated. And the cool part is when I'm reading it, what they're looking at on the backside is life at the next level. Yes, this is a little bit older of a magazine. So it's cool because you can, like this one, for example, it talks about the crazy lifestyle switches, how we don't have time to eat healthy anymore, you know, the cost of eating. And on the backside, it says everybody, everything your body needs every day. So it kind of is like planting that seed for them. What they see on the back of this is different from what I see on my end when I'm reading it. So kind of fun. And then here's a Core 3 one. And the backside is kind of like some weight loss testimonies. So if I'm maybe talking about Core 3 or explaining Core 3, I can be holding this like this and potentially even reading the information on the products. But what they're looking at is kind of some testimonies and a picture of some products here. So I love that idea, Leah. And I think I actually got this idea from you. So I did it as well. And it's a really great way to kind of have some nice information. Like they said, if something spills on it, it's easy to wipe off. You can keep using them forever. So really, really great tip. And I'd love to hear from anybody else that would love to share or ask questions or participate in our call this morning.
Yay! Hi, everybody. I'd love to share. I'm super inspired. I'm pumped. I'm pumped up. Oh, yeah. I'm just super excited. I'm on Rachel's team, so talking about healthy happy hours and the events we're just getting started to produce is super exciting. I'm just right now looking through all this stuff, you know, let the life at the next level, the brag books I got when I paid $1,000 for a launch pack a year ago, right? $800 off sounds nice right about now. But so I really like the ideas that we're going after. I'm a brand ambassador for GT's Kombucha also. And so I lug around a table and an ice chest and product and tablecloths and things to put on the table and lots of flyers and stuff and coupons and all these things that go. So basically like transferring it to the idea of happy hour, it's like making a presentation that's about you, that represents your creativity, you know, setting up a table with your crystals, picking out some plants and some succulents and making it look nice, putting out, you know, some things that decorate it, making it look presentable, professional, nice, welcoming to a crowd. And then this idea of offering value, like a lot of people and, you know, people listening here and other people on your team have talents and things that they can offer that you can collaborate with together as well. Maybe someone's a yoga teacher, maybe someone is a sound healer, maybe somebody wants to do lectures about raw vegan nutrition or recipes, or maybe someone's made something with Purium in it and wants to bring it as a treat, like the bliss balls we had at Unconventional, which were amazing with Power Shake. So I definitely urge things like we're starting to do is just collaborating with other people on your team, combining your talents, combining your abilities so that you can add value, create more cohesion amongst your team, and build each other's value, because the way that you combine value will amplify your value, right? Like the horsepower things Rox has been talking about, and combining multiple people to create 2 becomes 3. And so that potential is for us that we are here to support our creativity and talents so that we can empower each other to communicate more effectively in happy hour, to speak up and use their voice and with confidence, with empowerment, that they know what they're talking about. And we're here to help each other with all of the information and education so that we can, you know, combined feel ready to go out there together and talk to strangers and approach people. You know, a big part of my work history was telecommunications and doing phone surveys and telemarketing and stuff. So I've had experience cold calling. And I guess my biggest thing that I took from that is that there's no fear, there's no harm done trying and just calling people and just talking to people, whether on the street or friends you invite. You know, it's like whether you know them really well or you don't know them at all, you know, there's no harm in approaching people, and it's only going to strengthen in you your why and your message and what you want to talk to people about and how you want to, you know, build your team and where you want to take your team. Because the more you talk to people and the more you get out there, the more you're going to be clear about what you're doing and why you're doing it, and other creative ways to express that and to reinvent happy hour again next week, you know, in your own unique way. So it's always unfolding. So I definitely love what I've been able to discover collaborating with my team. So I'd urge you to collaborate with your team and other awesome people and new brand partners that you have that have talents they want to share to combine with Purium. So yay.
Yay, I love your excitement, Joey. That's so exciting. And I love what you just shared too about, you know, having.
And come take my dance class. We're going to be dancing and exercising and doing yoga. So I'll let you all know, and
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Yeah, and I love the idea of making recipes using Purium products too. That's something that we've talked about in the past doing. You know, if you do have team members that you're collaborating with to do a healthy happy hour with, definitely make it a fun thing where you each make something using a Purium, using a recipe, because that's value of like, wow. No, it could be as simple as using a little bit of our coconut oil and aloe in a salad dressing that you bring, something like that. So I love that making great. Yeah, go ahead and open up the call. Who else has questions?
Oh. I just wanted to
go ahead, we can hear you.
Introduce Oh yeah, cool. So my name is Liz, and I just signed up to be a Purium rep just a couple of days ago, and I just wanted to share with what you were just saying that my background is as a plant-based chef and herbalist. So I'm going to be making a lot of recipes as well as recipe ebooks and Instagram posts related to recipes. Using Purium products is going to be like a really big part of how I'm integrating Purium into my already existing business. So
that's so exciting. Awesome. More of your recipes. Who did you enroll with, Liz?
I'm sorry, what?
Who enrolled you?
Rachel.
Awesome. Yay. You're in great hands with Rachel. She's amazing. And we have an amazing team here of support. So definitely look forward to seeing more recipes. And I know that we have some recipes that we've thought up, but I'm sure that we'll have fun collaborating and creating more. So definitely be interested in learning from you some of the recipes you create with Purium.
Yeah.
Awesome. Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on this call. Great to have your voice.
I just wanted to. I'm working at the same time, so I mostly just had on a mute and just listening. But I just wanted to share that bit while the topic was up.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your voice.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say, hey, buddy. Sorry. Buddy, wait, sorry. I just want to say really quick, thank you so much for sharing, Liz, sharing your voice on your first call ever, joining us on the mastermind. I'm super grateful and excited to have you and to have you on the team and to have you be joining us on this call. And I'm just really grateful to have you be sharing your voice in this way, because it's really beautiful and powerful to have
Well, thank you, Rachel. And
more
I'm
sharing
so
and
happy that
we can collaborate. Oh, good.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. You cut out for a second, so I thought you were done. The phone's kind of glitchy. But no, yeah, totally. I'm super grateful that you introduced me to the product, and you know that I was searching for something when you found me. So it's kind of all been very serendipitous.
Yes, on divine timing. Super grateful to have you. And thank you guys for coming on the call and just encourage you share your voice and what you're working on, what you should, we're all part of this community and this but we all bring our just the more we share our piece and what it is that we want to bring, the more that we can collaborate to really be a part of this collective that we are weaving together. Hearing more of your shares today, piece of this beautiful puzzle.
Hello, everyone. I have a question. Has anyone done a healthy happy hour at a library? Because I know you're not really supposed to sell things at a library. And so, like, signing people up at the end, yeah.
That wouldn't be the best place unless you, like, know the owner or something, but just, presentation without the drink.
Rachel, you're cutting out hardcore. I think that you're in a bad area with wherever you're walking.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. So, like, if you've done one in a, say, yoga studio or a dance studio or something in the past, folks, obviously if you...
First. Can you guys hear me now?
No, not really.
Okay. Okay, what
So, yeah.
Now I have reception. Can you guys hear me better? No? Okay.
I think we can hear you better, Rachel. I'm having some phone challenges as well. It keeps kicking me off every so often. So I missed a little bit of this last part of the conversation. It seemed like it was cutting in and out. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, and the girl was asking if what you think about conducting a healthy happy hour at a library.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I had heard the
So I think
question.
we've
The phone
resolved.
kicked off. And then when I came back, I couldn't hear Rachel. So I think I tried to talk over her for a moment. Um, technical challenges today for sure. And it looks like JC may have left, and Rachel, you're back. Did you want to try to?
Yeah, but if JC's not on, can you guys hear me okay now?
I can hear you better, way better.
Okay.
It was cutting out.
Well, I don't know if JC's or whoever is connected to her, if you guys want to give her this information, but libraries, number one, you're not supposed to have food. Number two, you're not supposed to have drinks. And number three, you can't really be very loud. You're supposed to be quiet in a library. So to me, that doesn't really feel like the most conducive space to a healthy happy hour unless you're doing a presentation with no food or drinks and where you're going to be keeping it much more of a mellow, like calm, quiet, which is possible. But I wouldn't say it would be the best space for that. I would suggest places that are more like really connected and in alignment to the mission, like yoga studios, elixir bars, juice bars, art galleries, holistic healing centers, wellness centers, even gyms, friends who own different studios, places like that. And then also just really nice homes. We like to go to friends' houses who have really beautiful, lovely homes or giant, big backyards. Giant and big backyards. Just just big open spaces, and being in nature is really beautiful as well. So even going to a park, we've gone to a park before and done a healthy happy hour, which was really beautiful. Just like set it up on a picnic table. So tons of options. I would definitely just be looking for things that are more in alignment with what we are doing and creating, and also allow for expressive freedom. So being able to be loud if that happens, big laughter sometimes happens, or being able to play music is really powerful, and being able to have the food and the drink. So that's just what I would suggest. But of course, if you happen to know the owner of a library and they're willing to let you do whatever, then of course do it. That's an awesome opportunity. So that's my initial feelings about it.
Thank you, Rachel, for sharing. And I want to remind everybody too that there is a guide to doing a healthy happy hour that you can find in your back office resources. So if you haven't done a healthy happy hour in the past and you're wanting to kind of have like a little checklist, that is a very helpful guide. It literally has a checklist that you can print out that's like, these are the things you want to do to get ready for your healthy happy hour. These are the things you want to do like an hour before. This is like how your healthy happy hour is going to go, kind of ABC. So that can be really helpful to help you feel more confident if it's your very first healthy happy hour and maybe you don't have an upline in your area that can help you launch with your very first one, is to print out that guide so you kind of have an idea. It will just ease your mind of like, what do I need to do? And give you so you can kind of go through those steps and check off the different things as you do them to prepare for your healthy happy hour. We still have about 5 minutes left on the call. So if anybody else has any questions or things that they'd like to share today on this call, the call is open. We'd love to hear your voice.
Hey, I just
Hello?
wanted to share a little bit about the exercise from yesterday of the texting. You're asking if we had any like results to share.
Yeah.
So I yesterday I ended up texting 129 of my Facebook friends, both new and old, and about 34 of them responded within the day. So that's my next step, is following up with those 34 people that took the time to respond. So that's on my plan for today after this call. So it kind of woke me up to the fact that there's a lot of possibility out there, and to take bigger actions than what I originally had planned, and seeing the result from that. And the side benefit that I found was that just getting that momentum and just like going for it, like later on in the day, I was able to talk with other people with a lot more enthusiasm and confidence and less reservation. So I found that to be super helpful, and I was able to call someone that I had previously kind of talked to doing a 40-day transformation, and I had a different perspective on it and enthusiasm, and that kind of carried through in the way I spoke with them, and they ended up signing up and being super excited about starting the program. So just the taking action carried over into other activities, and that was kind of like the most valuable thing about that exercise for me.
That's so awesome. That's super exciting. And I don't know if you introduced yourself on the line. Who is speaking?
Oh yeah, this is Tai Yamaguchi.
Okay.
I'm on Kauai.
Oh, awesome. Awesome, Ty. Great job. I'm so happy that you took some massive action and are seeing some responses from that. And you've opened the door with like 130 people. So, keep that conversation going too. And just because they haven't responded yet within the first 24 hours doesn't mean that maybe they don't check their messenger every day. Or maybe they don't even have Messenger downloaded on their phone, is what I realize. A lot of my friends don't have that. So, they may get your message in a few days or in a week, and you might get even more responses. So way to go with taking some massive action. Super excited for you and your family, and definitely a great way to launch your business is just, reaching out to people in your organization, especially right now, you guys. We're 5 days to the end of the month. It's a really great time to go through your network notebook, see who you've shared with in the past. If you're wanting to reach a goal, then follow up with as many people as you possibly can, because the fortune really is in the follow-up in this business. We could share with people all day long, but unless we follow up with them, the chances are that they may not sign up into our company, or if they do, they might even sign up with somebody else. So the fortune really is in the follow-up. And another little tip that I will leave you guys with, since we don't have another mastermind until Monday, and that's the last day of the month, which sometimes we don't have mastermind the last day of the month, so we'll see what Skylar decides as far as that goes. But a tip I'll leave you guys with is, if you've been adding people into our Facebook group, the Core 4 group on Facebook, which is our prospecting group. So if you've been adding people into that group, then there could be people that have been in there for months or maybe even years if you've been in our company for that long. And so what you can do is go to the Core 4 group, click on, I think it's more information, and then go to the members section. Click on members, and it will give you a list of everybody that is in that group. But the really cool part is it will tell you next to everybody's name, right under their name, it will tell you who added them to the group, so that you can see who you added, which you pretty much know who you added to the group. But you can actually go through the group. It tells you who added the person and when they added them. So this is a great way to see if anybody that maybe has slipped through the cracks that you've forgotten to follow up with for a while, maybe somebody you added to the Core 4 group a year ago, and who knows? There's times when people fall through the cracks. So definitely there's a great exercise to do every once in a while. Definitely at the end of the month, if you're looking for an extra 1,000 points on the board, you might follow up with some people that have already had 7 to 10 exposures in this company and may already be ready to get started, and all they need is that follow-up call and that extra inspiration and push from you. So I hope that's helpful for everybody. I hope you got all your questions answered today, and I look forward to seeing you all reach your goals this month. And I guess I'll see you all Monday or Tuesday on Mastermind. So make it an amazing weekend. Rock it, rock stars. You're all amazing. Go out and bless lots of people. Love you all. Aloha.
Aloha. Thank you.
Aloha. Thank you so much for a very inspiring call. See you all next